All right, so now we're looking at Coach Lesson 5 on multiplying and dividing rational numbers. Question 1 says, individual pens are on sale for 79 cents. Tammy is going to buy as many pens as she can for $12.50 for the upcoming school year. How many pens can she buy? So the operation I'm going to perform there would be $12.50 divided by the 79 cents. And when I use my calculator, it gives me 15 and some change. And to be more precise, 15.82 and some more. Now, I cannot buy 0.82 of a pen. The whole number of pens that I can buy is 15. So for that reason, that would be why I would choose B. I can buy 15 pens if I have $12.50. They're not going to allow you to walk out of there with 16 pens if you can't pay for the whole pen. Number 2, Julie earned $8.76 per hour at her job. Last week she worked 32.5 hours. How much money did she earn last week? The operation that we will use there will be multiplication. She works, if she gets paid this much per hour, if she works 32 and a half hours, you're going to multiply those. And when you multiply those, you're going to get $284.70, excuse me. All right, I'm going to skip over to question 4 because I can see it on my screen. I've got 7/16 divided by 2 and 3/8. So if you did not have a calculator, first you need to multiply or make this 2 and 3/8 into an improper fraction. So 2 times 8 is 16 plus the 3 is 19 over 8. Then, because I don't really like to do 7 divided by 9 and 16 divided by 8, that actually kind of works nice. But 7 divided by 19, that's not very nice. So I find it easier to multiply by the inverse. So 7/16 times 8 over 19. I see here that I can simplify this to 2 and this to 1. So 7 times 1 is a whole lot nicer. That's 7. And then 2 times 19 is 38. That is how your calculator gets 7 over 38. Number 5, naked math problem here. We get negative 16 times 13. I know that a negative times a positive is going to give me a negative. So I know for that reason I'm going to be looking at either A or B. Now, 16 times 13. 3 times 6 is 48. Carry 4. 3 times 1 is 4. 3 plus the 4 is 78. Put your 0 here. 1 times 6 is 6, and 1 times 1 is 1. Get 8. 7 and 6 is 3. And I messed up. 3 times 6 is 18, not 48. That's a little crazy. Okay, so 3 times 1 is 3, plus the 1 is the 4. That should have been 4 there. So 4 plus 6 is 0. So 208 is what I'm looking for. So correct answer there is negative 208. So question 3. Each lap around Spring Lake Park is 2 3/8 miles. Sarah walked 2.5 laps before leaving the park. How many miles did Sarah walk? She went once around the lake, she went twice around the lake, and then another half. This is going to be a multiply problem. 2 3/8 times 2 1/2. When you multiply those, 2 3/8 times 2 1/2, and that gives us 5 15/16. If you will change these into improper fractions, you're going to have 19 over 8. 2 times 8 is 16 plus 3 is 19 over 8. And then 2 times 2 is 4 plus 1 is 5 over 2. there's no simplifying here between 19 and 2 and 5 and 8. So 19 times 5 will be 95 over 16. And then when I take 95 divided by 16, I know twice is 32. And then another 32 on top of that is 64. And then, so that's times 4. 16 times 4 is 64. If I add 16 to that, that's going to give me 80. And it won't go 6 times because that will give me 96. Because that's 16 more than 80. So right here, I know it'll go 5 times, and that's 80. And I'm going to have 15 left over. So 5 and your leftovers is 15 out of 16. 5 and 15 sixteenths. That's without a calculator. Question 6. The temperature dropped 3 degrees each day for 6 days. That's a dropped 3 degrees each day for 6 days. That's going to be a multiply by 6. If the temperature was 4 degrees on the first day, and you add a negative 18 to that, because that's what that comes out to be, that's going to be a negative 14 there. So that would be B. A company's earnings last year were negative 8,100. What were the company's average earnings per month? So you got to know that there's 12 months per year. So you're going to take that 8,100, you're going to divide that by 12 months in a year to find out the average earnings per month. So put 8,100 inside the house, 12 outside the house. 12 will not go into 8. 12 will go into 81 6 times, because 12 times 7 is 84. So 6 here, and this is 72. So this is 9. Bring down that next 0. And we just said that would be 7 is 84 here. You got 6 left there. Bring down that 0. 12 into 60 will go 5 times. So we're looking at 675. Now, if we started off with a negative 8,100 and we divided by 12 months, they are losing $675 per month. That is their average earnings per month. Number 8, which quotient will be less than negative 1? I got cut off the screen, but that says negative 1. So negative 9 divided by negative 2 will give you a positive answer. And that's not going to be less than negative 1. Okay? So to be precise, it gives you 4.5. So that's not less than negative 1. Negative 7 divided by 8 gives you negative 0.875, a very popular choice. And then negative 6 divided by 4 is negative 1.5. And then negative 5 divided by negative 8 will again give you a positive answer. You've got a negative divided by a negative. This is going to give you 625 thousandths. So we know A and D are out because they give you positive answers, and that's not going to be less than a negative answer. So we're looking at B or C. B was pretty popular, however, it's not correct. Because if you draw yourself a number line, and we have 0 here, we have negative 1 there, we want something to the left of negative 1, negative 1.5 would be over here. Negative 0.875 would be over here. So less than is going to be negative 1.5. It is worse to owe $1.50 than it is to owe $1. So if you're ever in doubt, think of it in terms of money. Be careful when you're comparing those negative numbers. They can be tricky. That's all I've got for today for multiplying and dividing rational numbers. Thanks for listening.